Today, I'm in awe of how ambition, tenacity, and God's favor has brought us to this point. In awe of how a dream once impossible has been made possible. In awe of how an assurance of greatness and success has finally shown up on this bumpy road called life. Today, I am in awe at how my story and the story of my colleagues has been given hope for a life of success.
Mr. Audric Benoit of CV Bethel Senior High comes to play for us our national anthem.
Journey is defined as the act of traveling from one place to another. The journey for most of us started in 2016 when we were in grade 11. We were the next generation of the public school scholars program, but already we were being prepared for this journey, whether it be sitting in on information sessions or attending college roundtables. This year has truly been a special one. You don't know strength until you can balance 17 clubs, several leadership positions, BGCSE classes, ACT classes, SAT classes, social engagements, schoolwork, advanced placement work, scholarship requirement work, and sleep all in one. When this program first started in 2014, 19 students were sent off, 56 in 2016. I watched videos of these students. I knew these students. I admired these students. I wanted to be one of those students in the videos, inspiring students and motivating them. Now, this year, 2017, we have 126 scholars pursuing higher education throughout the United States and Canada. Public School Scholars Program. Its mission is to create college awareness, higher education opportunities, and success to low-income, first-generational public school students while connecting them to college access through institutional partnerships. For many of us, this program provided hope where there was none, created a blazing fire where there was only a spark. So we say thank you as we look back over this year. We are grateful. Journey is defined as the act of traveling from one place to another. Now, as we leave this place and travel to another, we carry this experience with us and use it to propel ourselves forward and bring a village with us. Thank you.
Thanks so much to you, Raven. We will now have the Director of Education, Mr. Lionel Sands, with his remarks. Give him a round of applause as he comes, please.
The Ministry of Education has made a serious commitment to provide our public school students with more opportunities for scholarships to tertiary level institutions. A few short years ago, public school students were getting less than 7% of all the scholarship grants available in this country. I wonder why 85% of the school population was only receiving 7% of all of the scholarships that were available in this country. Since then, though, the Ministry of Education, through Mrs. Monique Fireball Hinsey, and the Public School Scholars Program has helped us to secure financial partners to send 202 of our public school students to tertiary level institutions in the United States and Canada. This year, 140 students actually qualified to receive scholarships. That's more than half of all of the previous years. Regrettably, though, only 126 students accepted the scholarship offer and were able to follow through to the visa process. We have to work on that. We have to make sure every student who qualifies makes it. Every student. This year, the government of the Bahamas, along with 16 colleges and universities, will be investing close to $12 million in public school students in the form of scholarships for our students this year. Over the next 4 years, and an additional $5.5 million for the returning public schools scholars, those who received them last year and the year before. They will continue to receive the scholarship until they're finished. I would like to thank the Public School Scholarship Committee, including Ms. Clevette Gibson and Ms. Jarell Nairn. The Ministry of Education Scholarship and Loans Division and the Scholarship Resource Center for the arduous job they performed in screening and interviewing over 150 candidates and their parents for this award. And by the way, I make no apologies for screening 150. I wish you would screen 500. It's worth it. They've worked assiduously with colleges and universities in the United States and Canada to close the financial gap that many of our first-generation public school students are being confronted with annually. And by the way, I want you to take a look at these young people. These are first-generation college-bound students, meaning coming out of their family, they are the first to go to college abroad. I'd also like to thank the officials, administrators, and teachers of the Ministry of Education who are working to bring our public secondary schools in alignment with best practices to ensure that our students are graduating are prepared for college. And I just wish to say here that every public school in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is a school of choice. No one has to aspire to go to a private school to get superior education because you're getting it in public schools. I wish to just put in a plug for public school. I wonder why I'm putting in a plug for public school students. But you know why I'm doing that. See, this scholarship award would not be possible if our students were not academically prepared to meet the demands of college. It isn't which school you attended, you know. It ain't the school that you attend. I'm going to get down to bad language. But it's what you do with the school you attend and the kind of push you have from parents, from teachers, from the community so that you can succeed. And your tenacity to succeed. And so I say to these young people, the phoenix is rising out of the ashes. That's what you are. Ladies and gentlemen, to stress the importance of this particular scholarship initiative, let me share this fact. At present, less than 20% of the students graduating from public schools, high schools in the Bahamas transition to pursue post-secondary education. That's sad. There are a number of identifiable variables that may account for this, but the most obvious are the financial barriers prohibiting students access to local and international scholarships and financial aid opportunity. Furthermore, less than 7% of public school students apply for and benefit from scholarship provided by the Ministry of Education to study abroad. Monique Fireball Hinzi. By the way, I may not be here next year to speak to the incoming group because I would be one of those outgoing people myself. But whoever speaks next year, don't let them say less than 7% of public school students apply for and benefit from scholarships. Please, whatever you need to get more than 7% to apply, ask, and it shall be given. And I say to those students, seek and you will find it. This is generally due to a lack of awareness of the scholarships available, and we at the Ministry of Education are trying to increase these numbers by placing more emphasis on college awareness, readiness, and preparation. You have a job before you. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon is a clear example of why public-private partnerships are so important to the growth and development of our nation. Representatives from the Florida Polytechnic University, University of Ozarks, and Central State University flew in to be here just to show how much they value our relationship. In fact, Central State University has brought a contingent of 8 representatives to our lovely shores. Including the Vice President of Enrollment, the head coach, and other VIPs of the university. The Vice President of Central State University Institutional Advancement and Athletics, Johan Culbreth, had these words to share about our partnerships. This is what he said about the partnership that we have. The relationship with the Bahamas and CSU has a long history of successful alums who have achieved international prominence. We're so pleased to offer our Bahamian sisters and brothers open arms to welcome a quality collegiate experience. Bahamian students have a home away from home at Central State University. You hear that? Audience, as you've probably gathered, our partnership with the universities and colleges represented here and abroad have allowed for an increase in access to tertiary education for those who otherwise would not have been able to afford it. We thank them, and I thank you profusely, sir. And we look forward to making our partnerships even stronger in the years to come. Before I close, I must also be given allowances to brag. 100% of the students seated here tonight receiving this prestigious scholarship have met the requirements of the newly implemented National High School Diploma Program. 100%. They are, in fact, among the first cohort of students to earn the National High School Diploma. Earning internationally recognized standards of high school graduation. Listen, I looked at the requirements for these awards, and henceforth, one of the requirements would have to be that every student who is to be considered favorable for the award must have passed or been successful with the Bahamas National High School. Whatever percentage you want to put on it in terms of GPA, you put that, but make sure they would have attained the high school diploma starting from next year. Without that, no matter how many BGCSEs you got, you have to have that. Because we want to institutionalize the Bahamas National High School Diploma because it has currency. And by the way, That's we thing. That's we thing. And so all is not lost, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ministry of Education, I'd like to once again congratulate the scholarship recipients, the parents, the guardians, the schools, and the Ministry of Education and other involved stakeholders for producing scholars of excellence. Thank you, and good afternoon.
We are about to hear from some of our scholarship recipients coming now to make some remarks. First off is going to be Sabina Kalma of Jack Haywood High.
Today, I want to read something from a book that many people have called off as Sabina's Quest, so you will know my story. Chapter 12. Senior year was about to begin. Everyone was excited as this is our last year. Many spoke of their post-secondary plans, which included college, BTVI, all of those secondary level educations programs. I wanted that college life, but I knew it was not going to happen unless I paid the $40 application fee for the University of Bahamas, which I did not have. College fairs and seminars were frequently conducted at the start of the school year. I sat through most of them thinking, I'll never make it, so why bother? My mind was set, I won't go to college, but instead I'll go to trade school, which was less expensive and said to be easier. The guidance counselor office was basically a hangout spot for most of the grade 12s. The 12th graders. One day, my guidance counselor, Mrs. Carleen Davis Williams, introduced me and several other students to the public school scholars program. I heard what she said, but I didn't listen. I never had confidence in myself to believe that I would be able to get at least one scholarship before leaving high school. And this particular scholarship sounded too good to be true. Who was I kidding? I would never qualify. At the time, my heart, eyes, mind, and all were set on moving to Canada and enrolling into just a regular old trade school. I was encouraged to apply to a couple schools on the list, including Central State University and Florida Polytechnic University. As days slowly went by, teachers slowly drew my attention to the PSSP. My vice principal, Mrs. Shakita Thompson, told me from day one, and even up to now, you're too smart to not go to college. You will get this scholarship and you will go to school. So now my journey on the road to the PSSP began. I'll let you know, it wasn't easy for me at all. Many nights and days I cried, beating myself down. I was positive I would not get the scholarship. Up to 2 weeks ago, I experienced more challenges. I knew would put my scholarship in jeopardy. It was like obstacles coming at me from every angle, including a delay in taking my SATs, which caused a delay in receiving an acceptance letter. On the day of my interview, I walked in with nothing. No acceptance letters, no SAT scores. I remember walking out of that interview with Mrs. Hinsey and the other two ladies, positive that they would not give me the scholarship. But to my surprise, I received a congratulatory email pertaining to the scholarship. That moment was short-lived. Because I still faced challenges. My biggest one was the complications with the medical forms I received from Florida Polytechnic University. I went to the clinic about 5 different times, waking up at 5 a.m. every single morning before I was finally told about a week ago that the medicine that I needed was unfortunately all was gone. There was none in Abaco, there was none in Freeport, and in Nassau it was about $250. However, my mother paid for it, and I just finally received my vaccination shot on Friday, which was the reason why I was not able to attend most of the activities. But thank God I'm finally here. My biggest stumbling block involved finances. I needed funds for the exams, graduation, college application, the list goes on. I became an illegal walking shop on campus, selling keychains, candies, costume jewelry, you name it, I had it. Sorry, Miss Ward. I knew it was against the school rules. However, I had to find the money, which my mother did not have. My sister told me that for Christmas 2016, I could get whatever I wanted. I chose my SATs over any gift. So instead of texting on a brand new phone or trying on new clothes, I was studying for my upcoming SAT exams in January, which I still was not able to take until May due to my expired passport. In the end, I am here. I will be successful after all the obstacles. After all the obstacles, headaches, letdowns, and lift-ups. I graduated from Jack Haywood Senior High School in Grand Bahama with only .01 point behind two salutatorians, third in my class, and as the top and only female in electrical installation. Only a handful of people had faith in me, believing I would drop out and I would never make it here. But look at me now, I'm still here. I could not do this without the support of Mrs. Davis, my vice principal, Mrs. Thompson, my family, many teachers, Mrs. Ward, and my friends who would always encourage me when I was down. Honestly, I never thought I would be here, sharing my story with you all. I am so thankful for these people, but I am especially thankful to God. The Public School Scholars Program. They did not see a young lady with too many challenges. They saw a lady with a passion that no one would stop her from fulfilling it. Thank you so much for this opportunity to expand my knowledge base, and to become an ambassador for my country, the Bahamas. I live by a quote by a man named Chuck, and it goes like this. The goal in life is not to live forever, but to create something that will, and I will do that. And if you don't believe me, just watch.
My journey has not been easy at all. Starting last year, November, I was told by my cardiologist that I had a limitation in life. He told me, Devin, you have to take it easy. Now, everyone here who knows me know I like to do everything. I Bahamian. My hand gotta be in every pot. And sadly, I was diagnosed with POTS and Brugada syndrome, which basically put me at risk for sudden cardiac death. So imagine walking around school with a little Hollister machine, you all connected up, all your friends running, and I right there, walking, taking my slow time. Everybody laughing at me, boy, walk up. Yeah, I come in, class, of 5 minutes grace period, I could be there. I on my way. And nobody knew. My teachers gave me a rough time. Devin, where your coursework? Meanwhile, I'm in the hospital the night before, hooked up to this thing and the next thing, and mommy over there crying, trying to act like she tough, but heart was heavy. And I remember the interview process. I remember them telling me, well, Devin, Miss Inzi, matter of fact, I came in. She was like, I'm not going to interview you today. I'm going to interview you when I get back from the trip. I had no portfolio, no acceptance letter. Only God could tell you where I put my SAT scores. I was like, Lord, please, let me find these stuff. And I found them, and I had the interview with her. And they were so impressed. And I was like, Jesus, Lord, I got to give you one goat and one lamb. For real, I'm being serious. For real, I said, Lord, I got to give the Lord one goat and one lamb and try to burn sacrifice. Because I never thought it would have been me. When she called and she said, congratulations, I stopped in the street. I got out the car and I was in the street, freaking out. Praise break session on the street. I was like, Jesus, amen. Me, the first out of my family to go to college. Boy, when me, Devin, get this, get that. She running around. She was more stressed out than me. She was nervous about everything. She just wanted everything to go smoothly, everything to be polished. And I was like, okay, mommy, we could get it done. We get it done. Don't scream at me, in due time. No, it gotta get done now. We gotta get it done, and this gotta get done. And if it don't get done, Lord, things go high. I say, okay, mommy, relax. And I stayed positive throughout it. My teachers, I remember Mrs. Bailey. Lord, they know. I had to deal with her. I had to deal with my music program, and my lovely principal is there. Many conversations we had about encouragement when I thought I couldn't do it anymore. Because I was in the hospital. When was that? That was about June. And I was hospitalized to monitor my heart rate. And at that very moment, I asked my doctor, is college even an option bin for me? Because everybody is scared. Like, when someone tells you, hey, you could die at any time, don't be afraid, man, a little debt, a little debt. They're telling the 17-year-old. I don't know if he thought, because I'm so mature and I take things well. Gotta catch that one. Sudden cardiac death, and I was like, boy, me, I won't be on the praise team. I won't do choir. And I'm a former athlete. I swim and I dive. And they told me no. There's 10 years of training, 10 years of conditioning yourself, thinking you're going to go to college and join the league. And then you get so far in life and they tell you no, you can't do it. And my inspiration died lately, Cleophas Adderley, may his soul rest in peace. When I come back, and I'm going to close with this message. When I come back, this is my promise to my country. I am, not will, I am the next Cleophas Adderley. Music has been my saving grace, and it's cheaper that you go with your passion and your dream than to run and foil after something that God didn't give you as a purpose. So while the music's still licking in my head and I freaking out and y'all see me, just know that the next hit, the next choir ensemble, the next piece is under development. So I just want to thank you, Mrs. Hinsey, and the PSSP board. Thank you all so much for believing in me and my dream and not running from the Bohemian that people cheering when they tell you they sick, because that's how Bohemian go. They be like, oh, you sick? You got to go to UB. I'm telling you. So I thank you for believing in me and giving me a chance at a future, a chance at an education, and a chance at life. Thank you.
My story began when I was 10 years old. I had a mom, I had a dad, and I had siblings. My mom left me when I was 10 years old. Many people ask me questions, where is your mom? It'll always come up. But she left. My mom isn't deceased. Well, not that I know of. I haven't heard from my mom in years. She has missed birthdays, graduations. She has missed a lot. Truth is, my dad is all I have. I am the eldest of 5. I have all sisters, no brothers. I had many aspirations in life. I wanted to be head girl of Doris Johnson. I did that. When my mom left, I was on the honor roll at my elementary school. When she left, I went to L.W. Young Junior High School, and I fell off to 2.5. I went to Doris Johnson, and I said I have to make my dad proud. because my dad goes to work all the time. Miss Hinsey refers to my dad as Superman, and that's exactly what he is. I go to school. My first goal was to make a 3-point. By the time I finished, I graduated with honors because of my dad. He pushed me. My sisters, they're there. They ask me all the time, Alijae, where's mom? You miss mom? But do you know what it is to look in your sibling's face, females, not even males, females, and say, I don't know where she is, but it's okay. I say it's okay all the time, even when it's not okay, because I know it's going to be okay. Last year, something dramatic really happened. It was a regular day at school, and my appendix was bursting. My dad was there. I was in the guidance office, as usual, with Miss Rose. My backbone. She was always there too, another mom to me. My appendix was erupting, and I had to be rushed to the hospital. I could barely open my eyes. I thought I was going to die. I remember laying on the bed and looking at my dad and saying, I'm okay. I knew I wasn't okay, but I had to stay strong for my dad and my little sisters. I missed days of school, but I went back early because I had exams. BGCSE was coming up, and I had to turn in coursework. I did all of that with the help of my friends, my family, Miss Rose, not my mom. Many people must say my mom is a horrible person, but believe it or not, I don't hate her. I'm not mad at her. But it wasn't for my dad, my Superman. I could have been in a lot of messed up stuff. My dad made sure we had lunch money. He supported all his girls. If I said, Dad, I want to do this, I could do this. Boy, sometimes I gotta know. But I always end up getting a yes. He has done so much, and he's doing so much that he couldn't make it here today because he's working just to make sure that I have the money to go off to college. Despite everything, I lost my grandfather just recently after I went in the hospital. It's been a lot. But thanks to everyone that supported me. Ms. Hinsey, thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Rose. Thank you, everyone at Doris Johnson. And I'll make everybody proud. I don't like people to see me cry, but you'll see it today. Thanks, everyone. And may everybody do well in life. God is good. All the time. Thank you.
She deserves it. Stan, she deserves it. She deserves it. Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you for just that heartfelt, I tell you, just heartfelt. And these are just some of the testimonies that you are hearing. And many of the adults sitting in this room today, some of them haven't even been through what some of these students have been through. But when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows rose, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well It is well with my soul. Amen.
Well, allergy, I have a problem with crying in front of people. You ask my friends, I cry all the time. No problem. Just to say a little bit about myself, I am a public school scholar. I went through a lot, to being homeless, living in a car. Oh, man. Doing your homework with a flashlight is current off. Coming from an abusive home, but still making it. Even going to school crying some mornings, have to cry on some of my friends' shoulders. But I made it. So instead of talking about that today, I'm going to talk about something that was donated to me that just made me smile. My little red winter coat. Red, a color that signifies strength, energy, power, determination, passion, desire, and love. With protocol already being established, good afternoon. My name is Donishka Taylor, and I am a spirited, effervescent, zesty, and proud public school scholar of the Bahamas. May I also add that I am a future marauder. Many of you may wonder, why does this crazy young woman need a winter coat in 90-degree weather? But I promise you that it will be put to great use soon. On a very special day, a beautiful woman by the name of Miss James donated a coat to me, a gorgeous coat, I might add, with a heartfelt letter that encouraged me to never lose hope. To me, this coat is a representation of overcoming struggles, as she did while in college. The lady that donated this coat to me went from not being able to afford a winter coat to a Bahamian professor at Yale University. One thing that she taught me was that you definitely don't determine where you start, but you sure can press toward where you want to end. And God will help you get there. As I embark on this beautiful journey with my beautiful little red winter coat, I promise you that I will put on the sleeves of greatness and button down for success. Central State University, here I come.
Good afternoon. Scholars, you have made it. You started at the bottom, now you're here. A public school scholar. Congratulations. Thank you to the Almighty God who directed your path and sent assistance your way through your parents, your guardians, guidance counselors, and others who've supported you. You've made it. Congratulations, everyone. I am so happy and finally there is a scholarship in place for deserving students in the public system. All of these students sitting here worked extremely hard in high school and deserve some kind of reward for their labor. Mrs. Hinsey, thank you again for allowing not only my students, but all of these students sitting here for this opportunity for a chance at a college education. It was a long process to get to this point, but Honorable Minister, Mr. Sands, Mrs. Hinsey, I am ready to do it again. I'll have it no other way. Before I take my seat, I just want to read a few words from my students. They didn't know I was going to do this. Once they found out that they were recipients. Ms. Davis, thank you so much. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything, Ms. Davis, because I got the scholarship. I am so happy right now. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Davis, for holding my head up even though I had given up already. I really appreciate you. Mrs. Davis, I'd like to say thank you for everything that you've done in my life. You've been more than a friend, but a mother to me. Continue to be highly favored in God's grace. Once again, thank you. Thank you for everything, Ms. Davis. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the parents for entrusting your child in my care. There's no dollar value that could ever be attached to the words that you've just heard. I pray this program remains in place for other deserving students to come. Honorable Minister, May was the people's time. Now, let it be the public students' time. Thank you.
I am standing here today under a huge umbrella of emotions on behalf of every parent in this room. You see, from the moment our children were born, we had an overwhelming desire to provide everything that they would need to have a life that was comfortable, but at the same time teach them the value of hard work, the value of having a relationship with God, and the value of maintaining a good character. The academic journey was not easy for our children. We've encouraged them daily to do their best, and we promised them in hope that one day all of their efforts would pay off. Today I'm standing here representing all of the proud and grateful parents, because there were days when we wondered if we would be able to, give them what we promised them. The opportunity to pursue the goals that they had. Our children did their parts. They made the grades. They remained focused. However, the responsibility of making sure that they went on further still rested on us. This program has been the answer to many prayers. If not for it, they would not be able to attend the colleges and universities of their choice. My vocabulary is not extensive enough to express the amount of gratitude that is in this room. What we have here is the result of many sacrifices, extra classes, early and late study times, extensive parent-teacher conferences, prayer, fasting, fussing our children, and in some cases pleading on behalf of our children, and overall the trust in God to open a door that will allow them to fulfill their purpose. Without this program, many students in this room would not be able to achieve this. Many would have been forced to put off college in order to work and finance themselves. And sadly, because of the high cost of quality education, many would not have been able to complete. So it's with that knowledge that we, the parents of the 2017 Public School Scholarship recipients, extend our sincerest thank you to the Ministry of Education, the principals, administrators, teachers, everyone that played a part in ensuring that our children made it here today. Mrs. Hinsey, once again I say, there are not enough words in the English dictionary, I don't know any other languages, people, but in the English dictionary to express how grateful we are for having you in our lives at this moment and for giving our children the opportunity to have a higher level of education. We are grateful for you and we thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Benoit, for that message. And I would just like to let everyone know today, we have students from Jack Haywood in Grand Bahama to Inagua All-Age School. So for that, we must give a round of applause. The Family Islands are not left out.
I am humbled to be here on behalf of the Minister of Education to bring forth a charge to the 2017 Public School Scholarship recipients. As highlighted by the Director of Education, most of the scholarship recipients sitting in this audience tonight will be the first in their families to attend college and receive a college education. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you realize what this means. This program, as you've been hearing, is transformational. Not only will it be transforming the individual lives of 126 students, but it will transform the lives of 126 families and consequently generations of Bahamians to come. And this is only the first step. And see, I can attest because it was back in 1991 that I began this same journey of transformation when I became the recipient of a scholarship myself. The first of 3 scholarships, academic scholarships, that afforded me the opportunity to attend. Yeah, I didn't have money either. So I had to go look for it as well. I wanted that opportunity. But it afforded me the opportunity to attend first California State University in Hayward, California, and later Morehouse College in Atlanta. And, you know, this is just a little bit of advice to you. I began as a film maker. I wanted to be the best movie maker that this world had ever seen. That's all I wanted to do. Yes? But by some chance or act of God, I ended up being an English professor, an English-French major. You could laugh. I was laughing too. God has humor. That's all I could say. But everything works out well in God's will. And it was as a result of this transformation to an English professor that I ended up as an assistant professor at the College of Bahamas, impacting the lives of hundreds and thousands of students. And that journey took me to being the Member of Parliament in the Bahamas government, affording me the opportunity to now transform the lives of thousands and tens of thousands of young Bahamians for generation. Ms. Adley, she was one of my teachers in high school. I know Mr. Adley one year when I came back and said I was teaching at the high school in Atlanta, he said, "You teaching people children?" Mr. Adley, no, not Mrs. Adley, Mr. Lou Adley. So she saw my journey. My friend Charmaine in the back, you know, this was my neighbor when I was in Grand Bahama. She saw my journey. Yes? And like one of the students said, it's not where you start in life, but where you end up. And I'm asking you, students here tonight, to make sure that, and I've seen some of the degrees, the areas of studies that you're going into. Don't mind. You can start out there. But make sure wherever you end up in a position where you're able to transform lives. The institutional director from Central State said, you know, come back home, get a job. I say, come back home and create jobs. Yeah, we have too many people wanting to get a job and not enough people wanting to create jobs. Yes? So come back home and create jobs. And I can say, I believe in you tonight. Clearly, the Ministry of Education believes in spending the resources to develop each and every one of you. And we hope that you go on to develop yourselves and then come back, as I said before, and create a stronger and better nation right here in our small but mighty country. Don't let anybody tell you stay. It's always better in the Bahamas. Yeah? Always better in the Bahamas. If it were not so, after 20-something years, I wouldn't have been back. It's always better in the Bahamas. We are counting on your research, your innovation, and your enterprise so that we are able to continue this cycle of giving and continue to improve our society and our economy at large. So students, as I close, I say, I hope you remember this charge to you tonight. I hope you remember this charge as you begin this new and exciting chapter in your lives. And know that you have the support of a nation behind you. I want to say congratulations to you once again and thank you. And if your journey is going to be anything like mine was, treasure this first step. And what I can say with surety, this will be the first step on an amazing journey. Cherish it, come back, and give back. So thank you very much. And again, congratulations. Thank you.
When the Public School Scholars Program was launched in the spring of 2015, it was intended to showcase innumerable benefits for students in our public school system. Yet those immeasurable advantages grew out of three original intentions. Firstly, to sensitize parents and students from our public school system to the myriad of higher educational opportunities available. Secondly, to leverage the scholarship funds made available by the Ministry of Education. And thirdly, to establish international partnerships with colleges and universities in the US and Canada and the Caribbean. Since its inception, a growing number of colleges and universities have literally reached out to us to support the pioneering work that we are doing in this little country. They value private-public partnership and understand the scope and the depth of our efforts, particularly the fact that this revolutionary and, yes, Minister Humes, transformative program is snatching many young men from the possibility of gangs, crime, prison, and even death, and continues to reach first-generational college students from the length and breadth of our archipelago. Many of our scholars would have never had the opportunity they are being afforded today were it not for this life-changing, nation-building initiative. Our unprecedented partnership with over 20 institutions is securing millions of dollars to advance higher educational opportunities for a little over 202 public high school graduates to date. To date, it's 202. Today, I am elated to report that since last year, the numbers have more than doubled. The program allows us to retain our in-house talent within the public school system and celebrate their hard work and accomplishments along with that of our public school administrators, teachers, and guidance counselors. We celebrate with every school, every district, every island represented here today, and we charge you to go back and share this program with other students whose lives will be transformed if given the opportunity. I wish to thank the many guidance counselors, principals who assisted in hosting the Family Island interviews and Skype sessions. Our mandate for the new school year is to reach more Family Island students. This will not be an easy task, but with your help, we will. To the administrators, teachers, counselors, mentors, parents, family members, and friends who have inspired, motivated these young students over the years, congratulations to you. Your labor of love has germinated, and your seeds will now go forth and bring forth fruits. I'm grateful to those parents and extended family members and community partners who became that village. Those of you who stood in the gap to become sponsors for those students who needed the support, and to those who yielded the call for our Coats for College initiative. I'm so pleased to be the catalyst for creating college access and promoting higher education within the public school system. I thank God for choosing me. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.